Welcome everyone to episode 2 of the Grip Guys. We're back again with quite a lot of topics to discuss, a few little controversial bits we're going to touch on today, and a few less controversial ones. But this episode, we're kind of going to just freestyle it a bit, talk about a few different things that we've seen this week, a few different things that are coming up later this year and next year, and kind of hope that you guys can give us some feedback on what you'd like us to talk about going forward. Really, that's pretty much the plan, isn't it?
Massive thank you to everyone that watched the King Kong review. It's really nice to hear. We had a lot of positive feedback and I hope we did everyone justice. And yeah, we wanted to give everyone a mention, but like I said, we would have been there for days and days and days if we'd have talked about everyone. So we tried our best to mention everyone. We're hoping to make this a regular thing. So as Tom said, let us know what you want us to talk about. Make sure whatever we talk about today, get down in the comments. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And trust me, there's going to be a lot of opinions today on this. Make sure you get in the comments and let us know what you think and what you want us to do in the future.
Yeah. Perfect. So where should we start? Should we start with, maybe we'll make this like a traditional thing where we start with our lifts of the week, I guess, would we call it?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Right, so I'm going to talk about a lift I saw yesterday, actually, and this is Han Lindsay, and I'm going to talk about it because I'm currently trying to do this lift myself, and I haven't managed to fully lock it out yet. I've got close, but I haven't managed to actually do it to the standard that I'd like to, and it's a Hall 45 plate lift on a shallow hub. Now these these are modelled on the old style York plates, and to do this, trust me, it's very difficult. So if we just have a look, I actually messaged her about this, and she said she didn't think it was the cleanest lift, and she wants to do it again cleaner. But to me, that's pretty good. I mean, what
There's
your thoughts?
definite air.
It's definitely, yeah. I mean, it comes down a little bit quick, but as far as I'm concerned, that's that's a decent lift and first female to achieve it. So it's not to be sniffed at, that lift. As I said, it's a very tough plate to do. There's not much to grab onto. It's quite sharp on the edge. So yeah, congratulations to her.
Just trying to see, does she hook a thumb or is it like a pure
I
claw grip?
actually think it
Can't
look.
tell.
I'd have to check with her, but it looks more like just a normal thumb to me. I don't think she's
Which
hooking,
is,
which is
that's a
even
bit
more
wild,
insane.
that.
Yeah, but I've seen a few people do it like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know there will be a lot of people that can lift them, and it's more accessibility more than anything. Like, I will bring mine
Mm,
to the shed at some point, and I'm convinced you and Harley will definitely send them first time. I think
yeah,
Carl Atkins has got a really good chance of lifting it. Andy Smith.
true that.
There's quite a few of us that are decent hub lifters. I've got two of them, and I'm not 100% sure. Maybe someone could correct me in the comments. I don't think anyone's lifted them yet.
Surely.
Two at the same
Surely
time.
it's not that bad.
It's more. I mean, Seb's done one, and then he's got the other one up, but it fell out of his hand, so he's nearly
Okay.
double lifted them. I've seen Jayland try and double lift them. I don't think he quite locked them out either. But I'll have to bring them. I think you'd have a really good chance of doing them. Who are you thinking of, Tom?
Well, I spotted it's another kind of pinchy lift by Zach. I don't know which, he's posted two actually, hasn't he,
I
recently?
think,
And
is it the 15s?
yeah, the 15s
Okay,
is the one I preferred.
so can you see this okay? Do you
Yeah,
want
I
to
like
talk us
that.
through this?
Well, what would it be? Is it about 60 mil, maybe 63 or 4 mil?
Yeah,
That I reckon.
yeah, it's
But it's the plate movement, the edges are a lot sharper. You can't get quite as much as a normal 60 mil pinch block. So people that are lifting 45 kilos plus on a 60 mil pinch block, it's a good number. But to do it on 3 plates with less texture and a bit of movement is even better, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so if you think about it, we'll go in kilos.
Yeah.
So it's 5 kilos more than it would be if you're doing the 40, yeah?
Yeah.
So obviously it's 5 kilos heavier, which makes it harder, but you're also adding the element of a third plate. So you've got another thing that can move. So you've got more tension that you need to keep under it because you've now got the middle plate as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think it's a
It's a
good lift.
legitimately, I mean, I remember we had a conversation off camera a while ago about 320s, and I'm not
Yeah,
sure that's ever been done yet, has it?
not yet.
No. So, I mean, as feats go, trust me, from someone that's lifted 215s and it feels
Yeah,
horrible, to lift 315s is just, yeah, very, very impressive lift.
yeah. I'm
Zach.
always biased towards pinch lifts. I just think plate pinches are just really cool. Um, and this is obviously just below the 225 pinch,
Mhm.
but 315s is mad.
For anyone that hasn't tried a plate pinch before, it's not necessarily the weight that's the issue. A lot of us
Yeah,
would be able to do for. I mean, I'm nearly at 45 on a 60 mil block. I'm not a million
yeah,
miles away. You've done way more. It's the keeping the friction between the plates from slipping.
that's it.
It makes
Yeah,
it so much harder. When you go to lift off, it just feels like the whole thing's going to slip away and
yeah.
move. So the pressure you have to put through your thumb and through your fingers to jam the plates to stop them moving. It like I said, if you can get all the 215s or 220s or whatever you're capable of strength wise, just give it a try and you'll see exactly what we mean.
It's a nice lift. I enjoyed watching that.
Have you tried 315s before?
I haven't actually. So I don't think we've got. Oh,
I,
I've got 315s now. Actually,
yeah,
we've got loads.
I think you should give it a try, as I think you've
Yeah,
definitely got it in you to do that.
yeah. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Give them a little bit of chalk because they're so slippy. They're like
Yeah.
gloss.
Yeah, they are. To be fair, I've tried to
Yeah,
do two of yours, and I'm like, wow, they're slippy. So that's half of the battle as well. Just to touch on that, seasoning them is a big deal. Those types of plates, I've got two strength shop ones, and they're very slick. I haven't even
yeah,
started to try and get them seasoned yet because seasoning them is a nightmare. Basically, you
yeah,
rub the chalk on, it just comes straight back off again.
yeah. Pretty much. Oh, actually, that reminds me.
Right, there it is, the new bone block chalk. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Finally,
that. Yeah, it's going to be good to try because I use a lot of block chalk in my gym because if I use packet chalk, it goes everywhere. So
yeah. I reckon we could do a whole episode on chalk. Like just talking about the differences between powdered block, like liquid,
we
and
could, Tom, but whether people would watch it is a completely different.
yeah, that's true.
I think me and you would watch it back ourselves and just sit there going, "Oh, we're talking about chalk." We are quite geeky when it comes to chalk. When the
Yeah,
Grip Watch comes out, there's quite a lot of times that I feature Tom chalking something.
yeah. And whatever it takes to get a
Yeah.
few more kilos.
Right, so they're the two lifts we've decided to feature this week. We're gonna both have a featured lift each. It might just be something we see, or if you want to tag us in. And
Yeah,
like I said, we want to feature people, not just the strong of the strong and the elite of the elite. We want to feature people that are just doing grip in general.
that's it.
And yeah, we want to get people out there and show people off. So
Yeah.
tag us. Right, from positive, what are we going to now?
Well, you did mention grip wars. There is a little grip war going on between those two people that we've
Yeah.
conveniently shared
That's
this
why we've
week.
shared them. Let's all be friends. No, genuinely, it
Um,
was a complete coincidence. They're both just
yeah, it was.
freaky left this week, and Tom
Yeah,
came back with Zach's, and I came back as a hub guy. I
yeah.
came back and saw Hannah's, and I was like, oh, I've got to talk about that because again, I know how hard that lift is.
Zach Mullins, he's the guy that does the grip show. It's been going for a long time. He basically interviews different guests from around the world, talks about grip. He's a competitive athlete himself and a very strong guy, as you could see from the last post. And he's been on a little bit of a rampage recently. He's just calling stuff out from the way he sees it, to be honest. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. He's just voicing his opinion, and the other people kind of don't agree with his views. He doesn't agree with theirs. Me and you were kind of in the middle. We have a compromise between both ideas of the way that grip sport should be fun, but also you need to keep it serious to maintain like legitimacy of the records and stuff like that.
So before I forget, I wanted to quickly do this and give him a shout out because this is the show that Zach went on. Gift of the Grab podcast. It's run by Will and Haley. And if you haven't checked them out yet, go and check them out. Go give them a follow. Go and give it a listen. It's very, very good show. They're very impartial. Both of them remained impartial throughout. They can see both sides of things. And yeah, both seem like really nice people, want the best for the sport. So if you haven't followed them yet and you haven't listened to the podcast, go check it out because it's really cool. I do agree with a lot of what Zach says. I really do. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that I could go and enter what's considered at the moment the World Championships.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if I just turn around to you now and go, you know what, Tom? I think this year I'm going to do World's Strongest Man in Strongman. I'm going, yeah, I'll just do it. I fancy having a go. I'm just going to turn up. Mitch Hooper, Tom Stoltman, they're not going to know what it is. The sport's way behind that. But eventually, it does need to morph into the fact that the World Championships is the elite of lifters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That is the way it is. So it has to. If it wants to progress and be taken serious, I'm gonna use strongman as an example for this. To start with, I could do an online qualifier to enter something called OSG, Official Strongman Games.
Yeah.
So I could do that, but I have to have a certain criteria of lift, and I have to be so good that I qualify in my weight class, and then I can enter OSG. I then go to OSG. If I win that, I then get invited in the open weight. This would be. I'd then be invited to a Giants Live. If I then podium at the Giants Live, I get invited to Worlds.
Yeah.
That is a perfect example of how something should be. There is a pathway for someone that is good enough to get there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That eventually, that's what I think we both think needs to happen in this sport. There needs to be a pathway to get from a regional level to an international level.
Absolutely, it's the best way to do it. It's the same with like Ultimate Strongman as well. Even though they're not associated, it's kind of like the winners of that will kind of automatically get invited to a Giants Live show, don't they? Like I know Dean Mason, who's won it this year, he got invited to his first Giants Live show earlier this year. That's how Paddy got through.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of where the sport needs to go eventually.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember, for anyone that's watching that doesn't compete and they just do this kind of in their gym or for fun, that's absolutely fine as well. One of the things I want to achieve in helping build Grip and doing stuff online and YouTube, I want to get people involved that are never going to compete. It doesn't matter. It's just about being healthy. And how amazing would it be if someone in their 60s was like, I'm going to the gym today. Oh, what are you going to train? I'm going to go and do rolling handle. It would be so cool. So I'd love to get people just enjoying the sport as well. But Zach is talking mainly from a competitive level. So we'll move on to the next point that Zach brought up. He had a bit of an issue with unofficial world records. Again, something I kind of agree with. I know you've kind of took strides to try and solve this problem.
Pretty much. I was just trying to think how I'll go about wording this. So I think I'll start with competition lifts. We always find in competition, a lot of people don't do as well as they thought they would have, purely because of the way the competition goes on the day. It's not your usual warm-up routine. You're having different lengths of break between lifts, especially if we are doing 3 lifts only. You might have 15 minutes between a lift. You might have 30 seconds between a lift. You might only get 10 minutes to warm up if you're lucky. You're lifting on different equipment that's not your home equipment. It might feel slightly different because of the texture or the way the chalk's built up. So competition lifts are very different to what you're doing in your home gym at the comfort of your own home as many times as you like until you get the number you're looking for. So that's kind of why we have a leaderboard for competition lifts only, which all the lifts on that leaderboard have to hit certain criteria like lift height, the referee's call, all that stuff. It's fair for everyone. Whereas the gym lift leaderboard is a free-for-all pretty much, and we can only sort of referee stuff that we see online. And generally the numbers that come in from that are higher than competition because you are a little bit more comfortable, I guess we could say. What do you reckon?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think it's the way forward. I think it gives people credibility that, wow, he's lifted this, he's done that, he's done this. But ultimately, if you want a world record, you have to turn up a competition and you have to compete. It's that simple. If you don't have a world record.
Yeah.
You have to compete. It has to be under competition conditions. One of the reasons why Thor's 501 was so widely discredited by a lot of people was because he did it in his own gym. Now, his was way more regulated than what some of these lifts online are. I mean, he had rest periods that he had to adhere to. The plates were weighed. They were all calibrated. He's now come back and shut everybody up. And I mean, ultimately shut them up. If you want a world record, compete.
Yeah. The records are really good as like a reference point to see where you're at. And it's like, if you are lifting above the record, get in a competition. Why not? You've literally got nothing to lose. Even if you get a couple of kilos less than you're expecting, you're still there or thereabouts.
And that leads us on nicely to the one thing that does blow my mind, and I can't get my head around this bit. How can you have a piece of equipment that's got one world record for one federation and another world record for another federation? It's exactly the same equipment. It's pulled from exactly the same height to lockout. I
Yeah.
can't fathom that one. It doesn't make any
No,
sense.
I can't either. Me and Jed spoke about this early last year. We were in contact quite a bit, and we were talking about making like leaderboards for. So the vertical bar is a really good example because there's
Yeah.
so many different manufacturers of a standard 50 mil vertical bar.
Uh-huh.
All the records could really count the same for that piece of equipment because the texture isn't going to make a huge amount of difference.
There's no one that can tell me otherwise that someone like Tiny or someone like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, someone else, someone like Carl
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to lift within 5 kilos of their max lift on any V bar that's a
that's
50.
it. Yeah,
So it may vary a tiny bit, but not enough to bother any of the records. I mean, if
yeah.
you could do 120, 130 on a 50 mil Gods of Grip, you'll be able to do the same on any brand,
That's it, yeah. So it's
pretty
sort
much.
of like was it generalizing equipment, maybe something like that, I think. But we never got round to it, and it's another one of those things that
I,
just hasn't
I hope
happened.
that happens eventually because I think
Yeah,
that would be a big step forward to stop all the shenanigans that's
I
going on.
do as well. It makes it a lot more accessible for people as well because for us to buy equipment over here, it's the shipping and customs tax, and now for them buying it, they're paying
Mhm.
loads of shipping and now customs tax as well. So it makes it a lot easier for everyone as long as we're sort of using the same size equipment. You know, like a 50 mil vertical bar is a 50 mil vertical bar, a 60
Yeah.
mil pinch block is a 60 mil pinch block. Maybe ours would feel a bit nicer than theirs, but it's not going to make a huge
Yeah, but
amount of
also theirs
difference.
might have been in the garden for 8 weeks
That's
rusting.
it.
You're never ever going to regulate this stuff, and all that's going to happen is things will just stay murky and in muddy
Yeah,
waters. And also, Zach's called out faulty equipment. It to people that know what they're talking about. It's so obvious when someone's using something dodgy. You know straight away. It's not as difficult. People that are experienced in the sport and know numbers and know what people should be capable of will know whether there's
yeah.
any shithousery going on, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. We're well aware of like the level of most people. We've got thousands of lifts recorded, so we know like the
Yeah.
outlier. There are outliers like Chris Stefano is a bit of a freak, you know, because he's got massive hands for his 62 kilo,
Big old
but
thumbs.
it's yeah, big old thumbs. And but he is a he is a freak for his size. And
Yeah.
Tiny again, he's a freak because he's got so much mass, so much hand power, and he's battering everyone on every implement at the moment. So there are always going to be the guys way above like the fold, but most people do sit within certain sort of realms.
Speaking for myself, you'll fluctuate as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll be in a comp. We've got a comp this Sunday. There's two
yeah,
events that I'm going to do really well at, and there's two events that I'm not going to do really well at. I'm going up against you in an open weight cat.
yeah.
What's going on here, Tom?
I'll do it
Stop.
left-handed or something.
Do it with your fucking feet, and you'll still beat me, mate.
Yeah,
The one other thing I just quickly wanted to cover on it, and this is a good point as well, and coming from someone that's never been to some of these events, but I do watch a lot of them online and the streams and stuff. World records and national records and overhyping records and records and records and records.
yeah.
Every lift that I see on some of these streams,
New world
this is a
record.
record, this is a national record, this is a record for this
Just
person, this is a record.
wind it in a bit.
Yeah. If it ain't a world record, basically all it is a PR.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
At this point in this sport, again, strongman, massive strongman fan since the 90s.
yeah,
I literally watch everything you can think of that's on. I had never heard of the American log lift record until like 2018, where Robert Oberst started screaming about being the only American to lift a certain amount on the log. And
yeah,
that was 2018, and that's a sport that's been popular since the 70s.
yeah.
So it's not really something yet that people need to worry about, are national records, because
That's
some of
it.
these categories that they say this is a national record. I remember there was one of ladies from a certain nation that was going to break the national record. I can guarantee you in that category, there's only two people in the world with that nationality.
See, it's like,
That's a
come on.
PR. That's
Yeah,
nothing other than a PR.
yeah,
But if the sport gets huge, then yeah, and there's 50, 60, 70, 100, 200 people in that weight category from that
Yeah,
nationality, then that is a massive deal to
absolutely.
break your
Yeah,
national record. But while there's hardly anybody in that category, it shouldn't even be. Because then you've got someone like Carl that will walk out 20 minutes later to try and break a world record and do something that no human being's ever done. And it somehow gets over, it's being oversaturated by the
yeah,
fact that so every lift's a record.
yeah. It's just, come on, it's such a small sport and there's plenty of room for lots of people, but we need to kind of walk before we run and get a bit excited with things, I suppose.
So with us, just quickly touching on when we do the Herculean hands and stuff,
Yeah,
I know you're like this and I'm like this as well. I'm very careful to state that what we do there is a record.
yeah,
Not a
yeah.
world record, it's a
That's
record.
it.
At
Yeah,
that current time, it's the highest lift that anyone has done on that implement in
absolutely.
competition. That's
Yeah,
it. All we're
exactly.
doing with those events is setting a standard for someone else to then come along and beat.
That's it. And it's all
That
about
is all it is.
beating the current record, looking at what the best person's done. Okay, I want to beat that. I'm going to train for that. Let me improve.
100%. And those events are amazing, by the way, because you can train for
Yeah,
one
oh, they're so
event,
fun.
you can
Yeah,
turn up, you can give it everything you've got. It's still in competition settings. You've still got the judges there. You've still got
yeah,
everything. You've got to lift when you're told. You don't have all your perfect conditions. But what we're doing is we get an implement that hasn't been in competition for a while or hasn't yet been in competition. We set the standard, and then everyone online can see what that standard is and go,
yeah,
right, I can beat that.
yeah.
Do you know what
Would
I
you
mean?
find that's the way as well? Like, I think
Definitely.
you kicked off the inch pinch hype
Yeah, I know.
almost.
Everyone just come after me.
Yeah, they are, but that's it. And it's even internationally now, they're almost like coming after you for the inch pinch.
Yeah, it's good. It's
It's,
good to see. And already it's been taken up a few kilos above what my record was,
yeah,
but it's really great. And the double inch pinch is the same. I set a standard on that as that hasn't been in a competition yet.
yeah,
And there's a few people that have beat it by a kilo or two in the gym.
that's it.
I think that's amazing. That's what it's about. It's about getting people involved and people going, I can do better than that.
Yeah,
And
let's
it's
see
amazing.
then.
I said, do it. Do
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Just do it.
Come at me.
Yeah, yeah. Come
So
on,
yeah, that's
you were the
the
benchmark for the inch pinch.
not for very long, Tom.
No, but you know,
The bottom line, just to close this, you don't have to agree with everything that Zach has said. You don't.
yeah,
However, someone that covers the sport and has done as much as he has to get information out there through guests and through himself, and the time and dedication he puts into doing YouTube, which I know firsthand now how bloody difficult it is and how time consuming it is. And Tom, I'm sure, is going to tell you the same. He's entitled to give his opinion
yeah,
if he thinks there's something that could be better with the sport. He's one of the ones in the world that has the most right to give his opinion to what needs to change to make the sport better.
absolutely. I would agree. It's almost like giving a bit of respect for the
Yeah.
time and effort he's put in. People are kind of you're using grip as like a side quest, which is fine, but don't kind of discredit or dismiss what he's trying to say when he's been in the sport a lot longer. I guess it is a sport really because, and we are competing. We have like the UK Grip League, which is the like national championships. We have the British Grip Championships. So it is being used as a sport, and we have like hundreds of competitors across the country.
What are we moving on to? We're going to move on to something a bit more positive all around. We were talking about something to do with Germany. You've told me there's some news about one of the events in Germany.
Yeah, again, the inch pinch, it's hot topic this year. Krista,
The event that matters.
yeah, what's it? Krista, what's his Instagram handle? The crab or
Oh,
something.
right. Yes. Hang on. Thank you for reminding me, Thomas. The person that
There
has
he
started
is.
all this off, he got featured on the King Kong review. This is Coconut Crab, and
Cocoa
he
crab,
is
that's
the
it.
current reigning and will be next year defending, I hope, champion of the 105s in King Kong. This is Chrysler Hallett, and he did this week. So this is 41 kilos, which is on the inch pinch, but he does it with a freestyle grip, so not a key grip. He's called it like the Italian style because you're sprinkling the pepper and the
Oh, yeah, I
salt.
like that.
I
Yeah,
thought that was genius, by the
yeah.
way.
When I saw it, I was like, no way has he lifted 41 on the inch pinch because we'd done it the day before at the Grip Wars with Donna, and I failed. What was it, like 33 and a half, three
33.
times
Yeah,
to about,
it would have took the record up by half a kilo from what it can
and then 41. I was like, oh my god, I'm really shit then. But he was lifting it freestyle, I guess we're going to call it now. And again, Luca, who's hosting or sort of created the competition in Munich, messaged and said, "Is that allowed?" And I said, "Not in the traditional sense. An inch pinch is traditionally a key pinch lift, always has been. Every sort of record you'll find on any leaderboard will be done key pinch." But I thought, do you know what? If people want to do it freestyle, let's see what happens.
Yeah, so just to clarify on that, I'm mates with Chrysler online, so I talk to him a lot. He was really struggling, and then he sent me that and was like, "Is this allowed?" And I looked at it and I was like, "I don't think it is, but should it be?" Let's keep it real. If we're freestyling on hubs,
Yep,
don't get me
that's
started.
it.
If
Yeah,
we're freestyling on hubs, why can't you freestyle on an inch pinch? Surely that's way more acceptable
yeah.
to freestyle on an inch pinch than it is to freestyle on a hub.
I reckon so. I think it's quite a cool variation of the
The
lift.
one thing I would say is it's going to be a bit of a game changer, similar to what it was with the hub, is people that aren't particularly good at hub lifting will
Yeah,
then freestyle it and all of a sudden becomes good. So it annoys me because it's another one of the events I'm quite good at. So it kind
you
of
might
makes
get good at it though.
stuff like that. I was like, oh, for God's sake. But to be fair, for you, and even for me, I haven't tried it yet because we're competing this weekend. I'm going to wait till next week and I will try it. But I'd like to think if we're good hub lifters,
Yeah,
that will translate because again, it's finger pressure. The
I
fingers
reckon so. Yeah,
bend into it. It's
yeah,
very similar to how I do a hub.
yeah.
So and my hands are small enough that I should be able to get good purchase on it.
I look forward to trying it, and I do think why not? And especially because we're talking about putting it in the Grip League next year, we can kind of test it out over this next month. Because I guess we want to release the events in January, so we can test it out, see if we put it in or not.
And definitely get down in the comments about this one.
Yeah,
Anyone can say what they want. There's no right or wrong answer to this. What we talked about earlier about the sport progressing and things change, things are going to change.
yeah.
So it is a good thing to talk about. But one thing I would say is have to be a different record, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with trying things. That's what we're always learning, always trying to develop the way that the sport is and the way that we rule referee things and trying to make it fair for all different hand sizes, shapes of hand, and that's what it's all about. It's growing together and sort of coming to communal decisions about the way things should be.
This is another one. I've seen some of the companies make longer ones. Now
Mm.
that is different, but if there was a regulated size of an inch pinch, for me, there is no reason why that shouldn't be a universal record,
It
similar to
should, it should be. Yeah,
there is nothing special about them as long as they're not longer. Because if they're longer, you might be able to get a bit more
bit
of this
more.
part
Yeah,
of
you would.
your knuckle and everything
Yeah,
onto it. But as long as they're not, as long as they're a regulated size and they're a similar size, and everyone makes an agreement, like
yeah,
over the next however many years, like right, this is what size we are now making the inch pinch. That should be regulated as well. It should be across the board.
yeah.
The world record is
It's
the world record.
something probably we can discuss. We'll get like a few of the big boys around the world, and maybe to make a world championships. That's something we need to do. Each sort of figure out a manufacturer for each different country to make the exact same equipment. We can do worldwide qualifiers and then host the world championships somewhere, and that's the best way to do it.
This is what we talked about last week, though, about getting all the heavyweight hitters. It'll take
That's
money,
it.
unfortunately. If there's a
Yeah,
few I missed out, by the way, I did watch that back when I was editing it. I didn't mention Alexi. I didn't mention Jason Dingy as well. There's a few I didn't mention.
Jason
So
the legend.
yeah,
What a
so
guy.
there is there. I'm not just saying it was those five that I mentioned. We could probably put 15 people in a
That's it.
bracket of
Yeah,
best in the world that
yeah,
you could put on a plane. Have to be a big ass plane and
yeah.
fly somewhere to be able to compete. But I think that would be the ultimate dream, wouldn't it? To get all those people and to stream it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I mean, and once the sport does get big enough that there'll be people that are willing to pay to watch a stream or to be able to buy
that's
tickets
it.
to watch someone, that's the level that it would need to go to. We can have an episode on this. How do we make grip sport more viewer friendly?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
That's a good one.
massive one. And in
Yeah,
fairness, yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm not even going to start as there's a few points I can bring up straight away on that. When we won't talk about that now, but I think one episode we should definitely get into that, as I think that's a
yeah.
very good. That's something that does need work.
It is, absolutely.
Okay, is there anything else you can think of that we need to cover briefly?
Pretty good little episode, that. We've had a
Yeah,
few little delved into a few different areas, smoothed
hmm,
over some things between other people a little bit.
we're mediators. No,
But that's it, we are.
we're not
Yeah,
the grip guys. We're now known as the mediators.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Are we going to mention the Grip Wars date?
Yeah, so
What?
Chris has been slaving away,
Right.
editing all these Grip Wars videos. How many is there that we've got filmed?
At the moment, because I haven't finished them, too bloody many. Season one,
Right.
9 episodes.
Wow.
We are going to be doing Grip Wars Wednesdays.
I like it. Yeah.
Premiere of Grip Wars, episode one, is going to be the 27th of November, and they are going to be weekly episodes. I'm probably being a bit biased, but they are amazing.
Yeah,
The
they are.
athletes were amazing. They were such good sports. They have just had banter for days. As we did film them, the episodes got better. So there
Yeah.
are some episodes that to me absolutely stand out,
Yeah.
but they're all very good. I think it's quite groundbreaking what we've done, your
Yeah.
vision of what it was going to be, and I think it's come to life.
Absolutely. I think it's a really cool concept, and it's only, like we said, it's only going to get better. Season two, we're a well-oiled machine going into that, and as we get more athletes, better athletes, change the concept a little bit, like you said, maybe add like a little tag team thing to it, and there's so much we can do with it, and it's just a good watch.
Part of the Grip Guys weekly episodes or fortnightly episodes will be a tiny section on reviewing an episode.
Yeah.
I think
True.
we'll do
Yeah,
like
I like that.
a little review of how the episode went and what we
Yeah.
saw. We're going to be putting some previews out on Instagram, aren't we? Some little,
Yeah.
just
Little
dropping a
teasers.
few little
Little Italian
teasers down. Yeah.
teasers.
And yeah, so it's going to be good. So when are we back, Tom?
Grip Guy Fridays or something.
Grip Guy
We'll try
Friday.
and post on a Friday.
So there you are. You heard it here first. Moving forward, we're going to have Grip Guy Fridays. They might
I
not be
like
every
it.
Friday, but there'll be some Fridays.
Grip Guys every other Friday.
Every other Friday.
Roughly.
Roughly, maybe, yeah, give or take a couple of weeks.
That is episode 2 of the Grip Guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you've thought about it. Let us know what you think of the beef online and anything else that we've talked about. We've talked about a few different things there. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, Chris, and I look forward to the next one.
Me too, mate. Yeah, get down in the comments. Tell us what you think. Give your opinions. Nobody's wrong. Everyone's right. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. High fives. Air high fives. Big tens.